Hey traders, checking in on the cryptocurrency space. So significant altcoin strength continues. We got our Laggard breakout on LTC. We'll go over that trade review. And the Bitcoin bulls heading to higher highs over 50.5 thousand. Can the party keep going, or are we nearing a temporary top? Let's see what the charts are telling us. So we can see here we've got a lot of green out there in the space today. Sol and Litecoin leading the way. Other names, decent days, but not as impressive. So overall, Bitcoin finally getting our bull break. And as soon as we held that double bottom at 46.3K, that then became a more likely scenario to be watching for. And on the 12-hour time frame, I'm now watching this uptrending resistance line. It's not in play at this point, but if we make our way up to 52,000 and beyond, we'll have this resistance line to be watching. And we got a 4-hour uptrend. Anything over 48.3 thousand will be a 4-hour higher low. But again, it's still the altcoin show. And that is because the Bitcoin dominance chart is still extremely weak. We bounced and set a 4-hour lower high. And as long as we're in a 4-hour downtrend, we know the alts are continuing very strong. And we're watching this monthly bear flag that we've been keeping a close eye on. And there's two scenarios here. We're either going to set a monthly higher low compared to 39.66 or break that level. And those are two very different scenarios as to how it's going to impact the cryptocurrency space, in my opinion. So we are going to be watching that very closely, keeping in mind that, we can see a daily bounce in the dominance chart. And if it just leads to a lower high and lower low, then we're still watching for that monthly bear flag to be the more likely scenario. So checking in on ETH USD, the breakout continues. And again, I cannot stress enough, and if you've been watching this channel consistently, you know how much I've been focusing on the BTC pairings in the last year and a half on this entire cryptocurrency run. And it's been a very significant learning experience for me watching these relationships. And now we've got clear signals first on ETH BTC, and then we're going to go over Litecoin as the laggard and the clear signals on the BTC pairing there. So again, on the US dollar pairing, the 4-hour time frame, or let's go to the daily. The daily wasn't entirely convincing of being very strong. The bulls looked a little bit tired. We had a tight range. We knew the tight range was going to break and give us volatility in one direction or the other, but it was the ETH BTC equilibrium breaking bull and following through in a big way, confirming the weekly trend change. And here we are now testing the high of the ETH BTC relationship from this entire bull run. It's not the all-time high, but it is the highest level in a couple years. So very important longer term resistance now coming into play, and plenty of space to be looking at the 4-hour uptrend and the daily uptrend and testing 4,000. And just like that, Ethereum is knocking on the door of the all-time high. We're 10% away, which is extremely impressive. And again, we got lots of space on all kinds of time frames for bulls to try and make that new all-time high resistance test. So keep an eye on the ETH BTC chart because we are still in the spotlight. This is the US dollar pairing. This is the BTC pairing. So certainly still similar on this breakout. And congrats to the ETH bulls. I'm not sure, unless there's a major shift, I don't know if my long-term no-touch positions as far as the dollar value, if Bitcoin is going to be able to catch Ethereum from this point. Someday, I'm sure it will. Maybe. Interesting to watch, though. So Litecoin, we got our laggard breakout. Yesterday, or 2 days ago in the video, we talked about watch the laggards because the altcoins were showing us so much strength. And we mentioned Litecoin and Dogecoin, and I haven't checked on Dogecoin in a while. BTC pairing on Dogecoin. And again, I looked there before I even look at the US dollar pairing because I know everything's going up in the crypto space. I want to know who's going up more. And if Dogecoin is going up slower than Bitcoin, then I know there's dozens of coins that are going up more. So Dogecoin was not a good laggard, but Litecoin certainly was. So Litecoin got its daily bull break as soon as we took out 182.75. The daily trend change confirmed after 191.80. It was smooth sailing as far as resistance. There's one resistance level testing right now at 209 from back here. And then we're looking at 233 as the next level. And again, tons of space, 4-hour, anything above 183, make that 179.87 will be a 4-hour higher low. We'll be watching to see how first 5-minute oversold conditions reacts. And I made a trade on Litecoin. So as I've been talking about in the last 2 weeks, I haven't been comfortable trading the cryptocurrency space recently, and I've just been waiting for a trade to come to me, and that trade never came to me. So stuck with the swing positions that I already had, and haven't made a trade in a while. But I did 2 days ago enter a Litecoin position, and it was all because the LTC BTC chart changed the daily trend. We had a low, high, pretty much a double bottom here, and broke resistance. The change of the daily trend tells me our weekly high or low is set. And then I say to myself, okay, weekly high or low set, weekly trend change trying to shape up. When is the last time LTC BTC gave us a weekly higher low and higher high? And the answer is it has not happened the entire year. Even on this big time breakout, we just went straight up. We never confirmed a higher low and higher high. So I wanted to position for the possibility. And then I also went to the monthly time frame. And that wick is going to ruin that monthly. Take off log, it's a little better. So I looked at the monthly time frame on LTC BTC, and I'm not expecting this monthly breakout right now on this move, but this is worth watching. And this is worth watching because every break that has taken place with significant shift in momentum on Litecoin BTC pairing has been from a falling wedge on all different time frames. It hasn't happened from the monthly, but we've been in this pattern now for 4 years, and a monthly higher low is now set. And if the bulls break 7214, it's a monthly trend change confirming for the first time in the history of this pairing, as long as it's been here on TradingView for the last 5 years. So there is a scenario shaping up where, I would expect the most likely scenario here is a monthly equilibrium and a lower high and a continued tightening range, potentially into 2022. But this is what I call the Litecoin hopium. So I posted this a couple days ago because, again, look at the breaks that have taken place on LTC BTC. It is falling wedges almost every time. Just slow bleed, bears in complete control, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, bulls spike in a big way. So here's your weekly falling wedge, breaking bull. We were watching the daily falling wedge that broke bull. And that was this one. So again, falling wedges break bull. So congrats to the Litecoin bulls. My trade that I made was LTC USD hourly bull flag attempt, testing the recent highs. This is the daily trend change that I was talking about. And I'm in some position for the Laggard play. Stop 187. So 4:30 Wednesday. Let's see what I was looking at that point in time. And it was right here. I like playing bull flags because you can use larger positions. And I used a larger position here because my stop was so close nearby. And my play was for this to be an hourly bull flag. And if it's not an hourly bull flag, I stop out. So I see the setup developing. I see a double bottom at 178.39. I say, okay, that's enough support for me to play off of and make a very simple statement. If 178.39 holds, it's a bull flag. And if it does not hold, it is not a bull flag. So I make an entry for a larger than normal position at 180, ended up being my average with fees. And I don't scale in anticipating bull flags. I see a bull flag shaping up. I have the clear support level that I'm going off of, and then I make my entry. So the support has to be established and the bull flag shape has to be already underway as far as forming at that point. So it's very different than an oversold bounce play. I wait for the shape to develop first. I don't assume it's going to be a bull flag. The bull flag starts forming, and then I make that statement. If this is going to be a bull flag, then this support has to hold. So I was risking $2. I was risking just over 1% on Litecoin, which means I can use a very large position size, much larger than I normally use on a day trade. And this, I was intending on it to be a swing trade, but again, larger than normal. So took a little bit off on the initial bull move. Again, when it's larger than normal, just shave a little bit off. And then dropped my break even down a little bit closer, towards that support level where I just left my stop at that level and let it play out. So I took maybe 20% off initially. I took another 20% off in the 185s. And at that point, I'm in a risk-free trade. I can't lose. I place my stop at break even under support, and then we break out. So from that point, after I exit 40% of my position, I say, okay, now the rest of this position is for the break of 193. Because that's what I'm looking for on this Laggard play. And just now, right before this video, I exited everything. Why did I exit everything? Because we have far exceeded my targets on the trade, and I don't want to be greedy. The hourly time frame is due for consolidation. The LTC BTC chart, nice daily trend change, leading to the weekly trend change. And again, now it's all about our monthly resistance, which is a long ways away. But I was looking at it to be a potential hourly volume climax. And I was looking at a different pairing because it's not an hourly volume climax on Coinbase, but it was on probably Binance is where I was looking at it for a second there. Either way, it's not topping out just yet. The bulls are still just fine. They're in complete control. We're watching the pattern of a higher low every hour. A real aggressive bear is going to short on a loss of that pattern and stick their stop over the high. Let's go over that trade real quick. So let's just say we hold 203.10 for this entire candle, which just started. And let's say 206 is the support level. As soon as 206 breaks, a bear can short it and put their stop over the high. And it's essentially like a top fish, but you just get a little bit of a signal telling you, okay, there's a shift in momentum. And generally when I take that trade style, and I'm not necessarily suggesting it against Litecoin here, but it's just an example. I will sell half real quick to get break even. Let's say the high of this move is 209 and we break 206. I enter short, my stop goes over 209. As soon as we drop to 203, I sell half my position. I now can't lose. My stop goes over the high of 209, which is my break even, and I try and let it play out because if it's a bull flag, I stop out with no loss. But if it's a more notable top that ends up seeing more significant pullback, then I nail it and have a worthwhile trade. So that's just one way that I do it with both day trading. Usually it's day trading with that signal. And this will be, every candle on the 5-minute time frame or even 2-minute time frame. And that's the trading style that I'll use. But bulls still have complete control right now. We're testing that 209 resistance. And nothing wrong with letting some position ride further from here. I personally was just locking in a more than a week maker trade, and it's been a while, so want to lock it in and move on. Next trade that I'll probably take will be maybe I'll look back at Litecoin first 5-minute oversold conditions and start building back a little bit of the position, but that remains to be seen. On to Sol. So Sol, last time we checked in on the video, we anticipated a 4-hour equilibrium was the most likely scenario. I believe we were right around here at that point in time, and the reason was the equilibrium is the most likely scenario after significant volatility, and this had a ton of volatility. So high, low, lower high, higher low. Bull break was 119.72 and tons of follow through. We've now got multiple 4-hour inside bars, so that tells me we're in a clear tightening range. And if we look at the hourly chart, we've got our high, low, not a convincing lower high just yet. Grinding hourly EMA 12. The bulls are keeping complete control here. This daily chart has been on absolute fire. Higher, low every single day. That's a pattern to be watching for when it breaks. Again, once you put in, I look at that pattern once it's been like 7, 8, 9, 10 candles. I don't care if it's only been 3 or 4 with a higher low every candle, but once you're starting to put in, at this point we've got 8 in a row, start paying attention. But bulls have complete control, and we'll be watching for back burner trades. First 5-minute, we just got it. So first 5-minute oversold conditions, 141, all the way back up to 143. Not a huge move, but 1% back to the upside. And if the 4-hour inside bars break bear, there's another one. Higher low every single candle for the last 9 candles. When it breaks bear, there's plenty of space to be scouting a 4-hour higher low from that point. Sol BTC, 4-hour, similar enough, very similar. And it's already started a little bit of consolidation, but it is a potential bull flag at this point. So no real clues there, except it shows us it's still in the spotlight, favoring the SOL USDT bulls. And again, as long as individual names keep printing all-time highs, especially if Ethereum gets to an all-time high, it's just continued confidence for this sector. Every single bull that makes a move and gives a bunch of people profit is more profit to play in this space. And there's money flying around right now because there's a lot of confidence on these breakouts. So, even if I'm not in any of these coins, definitely want to see continued strength for the sector as a whole. FTT, USDT, daily time frame consolidating. We had a big drop. And again, these drops on FTT are very notable for their volume. It happened a few times right under $54 resistance. It happened 3 or 4 times. And it happened again from the all-time high. And you got to be aware of that volume when it starts pouring in, because once that starts happening, your RSI goes out the window as far as being a useful tool. Because first 5-minute oversold just got insane. And then look at this wall of volume. And the 5-minute RSI got down in the teens, and the 15-minute RSI got down almost towards single digits, I believe. And it was just a scenario where RSI goes out the window as far as being that very useful tool. So have to be extremely cautious once that volume starts coming in. But the flip side of that is, due to our historical 4 previous times of watching this happen, we know that when the selling subsides, big bounces take place. It's just tricky because you don't have a support level to be going off of, and RSI is not very helpful. So what do you have to go off of? Well, you have your volume, watching for a climax, and you do have RSI to a certain degree to keep an eye on, but it really just depends on when does the selling pressure stop. And in this instance, Bitcoin has done it many times, but it was an hourly bear flag confirming with no follow through, and that marked the bottom. And then again, the bounce, very worthwhile, 57 to 68. That's a, 18% bounce? But now we've got our good old fashioned equilibrium, 4-hour time frame. Same thing as Sol USDT. Lower high set, and now we're scouting a 4-hour higher low compared to 57.93. And watching for that to form. Let's see if we get to 15-minute oversold conditions. Watching for that. Looks like a 2-minute potential falling wedge here. So again, different time frames aligning, keeping an eye out for first 15-minute oversold conditions, scouting a 4-hour higher low. But there is still a lot of space between where we stand in the 62s and that level just under 58. FTT BTC 4-hour, is it doing the same equilibrium? It is. It's closer to a support break, so if there's going to be red flags, that will happen on this BTC pairing first, most likely, if we break that support as opposed to forming the higher low. So that's definitely something you want to keep an eye on as well. ADA USDT, new all-time high. Why is it not breaking out and getting significant follow-through? New all-time high, I would expect more volume and a big, 5%, 10% follow-through move. And we got maybe a few percent, 4%. Well, it's in the BTC pairing. We didn't get any follow-through on the bull break. The bull break took place, and then we just started taking out support levels. So your red flag is not on the US dollar pairing. The only thing on the US dollar pairing that's the red flag is the lack of significant breakout follow-through, but it's the BTC pairing that saw the break straight into a loss of the hourly uptrend, which is the red flag. So watch those BTC pairings. And now for ADA BTC, we're watching a potential rising wedge. And I would actually say, if I were drawing this for real, I would have already drawn it and put it right there. But it looks like we're just trading sideways here. So going to get interesting on this BTC pairing for ADA. Keep a close eye. So the next time the dominance chart bounces, again, if correlations are going to stay that the way that the relationships have been for the last year plus, a BTC dominance bounce likely means the cryptocurrency space consolidating and altcoins pulling back more percentage-wise than Bitcoin is. So we are keeping an eye on it. We're keeping an eye on the 4-hour EMA 12 resistance, which has been a guide driving the price down. I should say driving the dominance down. And that will be a clue for sector-wide consolidation next daily bounce. And again, look at the pattern, lower high every candle, 8 candles in a row. Watch for that pattern to break. So I appreciate you watching. Do good things. Congrats to the bulls. Looks like Bitcoin's about to put up a 7th green Friday in a row. Pretty impressive. Long holiday week, no trading in stocks on Monday. So a couple extra days for the cryptocurrency space to do its own thing through the weekend. We're certainly heading into the weekend with FOMO and hype high. And we'll see if we can keep bigger picture 4-hour uptrends for that to remain the case. Congrats to the Litecoin Laggard bulls. And again, no matter what I say about Litecoin, there are always people that want to talk about the fundamentals. I don't care at all. I am playing this game to lock in profit. I don't care if it's taco sauce that goes up and I can profit off of it. Doesn't matter. So take your fundamentals elsewhere. See you soon. And we will see you next week. Have a good weekend. Do good things.